You've heard of animes like Death Note, One Piece, Steins Gate, Code Geass, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. They've created a massive impact on anime fans, and more than likely, if you're into anime or have any faint connection to this medium, you've probably come across them. Although, under these behemoths of shows and series, there are many underrated and not so known series which are just swept under the rug, and this video is dedicated to bringing those niche yet beautiful series to light. I believe animes which I'm about to discuss can not only compete with the best traits of the big modern day masterpieces, but may even topple them in some regard. Hello everyone, my name is Ro, and welcome to my video on the 5 underrated anime masterpieces which you must watch. So before we start, a quick disclaimer: since this is an anime list, I won't be including any mangas which don't have some level of anime adaptation, and secondly, to make this list a little bit more versatile and holistic, I'll only be giving one underrated anime per genre, so most people can get an anime recommendation for some type of show they enjoy. So without further wait, let's jump right into it. One of my favorite genres / types of shows are disaster ones. I believe it's one of the most captivating and alluring concepts, and also well and truly think that Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 is one of the best animes I saw that captured this concept of disaster to perfection. Like a series like Zankyou no Terror, the story starts and completes in a span of 11 thrilling episodes, and as the name suggests, the anime centers around a high magnitude earthquake which has befallen Tokyo, and our protagonist Mirai is stuck in an unfortunate situation with her younger brother Yuki as they have to navigate a way back to their separated parents. The two siblings stumble upon a single mother who herself is trying to traverse a difficult situation, and the show's narrative centers around these three as they encounter obstacles, traumatic events, and other drawbacks on their way to reunite with their loved ones. One of the best aspects of this anime is its deep root in realism. We never stray from the path of what a human would do in certain situations, and we're made well aware of the mental and physical consequences of such a disaster occurring. As a person who's been through natural disaster myself, that being a terrible flood in 2006, I found this anime to be very relatable. It showcased the harrowing circumstances of what such an emergency would do to society really well, and since we're following one teenage kid, one child, and an adult, we get different outlooks on every situation, which I thought was quite fascinating as well. To summarize though, if you're looking for a high stakes disaster anime which showcases the morbid and emotional aspects of an earthquake really well, this anime is for you. The second anime I want to discuss is From the New World, or in Japanese known as Shinsekai Yori, which is such a brilliant anime for the little recognition it has. Since this anime is a mystery show, I'll be trying my best to not dwell into any major spoilers, but if you've got an eye for the nuance between what a utopian society as compared to a dystopian society entails, this series is for you. Shinsekai Yori takes place 1000 years from the modern day world in the future, where the narrative focuses on a coming of age character driven mystery, which puts us through the passage of time between 5 different characters as they grow up in a very uncompromisingly strict society. And in this show, you can be assured of amazing plot twists, and unraveling the can of worms which is this utopian world is something truly remarkable. I can assure you, if you give this anime 3 to 4 episodes, it'll hook you in for a ride. The stylistic decisions taken in this series to show you rather than to tell you is also something to be commended, and we see this beautiful world finally come to life. And lastly, I feel there is no characters in this show that I found underwhelming. Rather, on the contrary, I believe this series has some of the best and well-rounded characters there are, and following their lives through this aesthetically pleasing and immersive anime is something every anime fan should experience at least once. Now, this anime is in my top 3 and I'll 100% be making a separate video on this masterpiece, but to put into quick words, if you're looking for a realistic take on how the sport of tennis is played, as well as the psychological aspects of playing it, this series is for you. Baby Steps follows a boy named Maruo Eiichiro as he finds a new hobby in tennis, and eventually falls in love with it so much that he aspires to go professional one day. But with this lofty goal, he encounters many obstacles, and this series doesn't hesitate to show you that plot armor is nearly non-existent. And with this realistic take on tennis, Maruo experiences the best and the worst the tennis world has to offer in the both mental as well as the physical side of things. And one of the most fascinating things about this series is that it's showcasing a singles player, not a doubles one, so there's no team aspect involved. It's just our main character out there facing the hardships of the sport, and how he overcomes the difficulties the game throws at him is one of the brilliant things to witness of this series. Also, to me, Baby Steps is one of the most motivational animes you can watch. I recommend anyone remotely interested in the sport of tennis or just a genre of sport in general to give this series a go, and if you're looking for an anime to be motivated by, this series is for you as well. Also, since the tennis which is showcase is realistic, this might be a gateway into another sport altogether for you. So overall, give this series a shot. I highly recommend it. Music is something very important to me, and I think this series is one of the best that the genre of music has to offer, and it's greatly underrated as well. Oto Tomare's premise is quite simple and straightforward, but how it's executed is what crafts the show's brilliance. The narrative revolves around a delinquent boy named Chika, and his journey to understand the profoundness of the national instrument of Japan, known as the koto, a 17 or 13 string wooden instrument. We follow Chika's voyage in his high school club, headed by his upperclassman Kurata and a prodigy koto player named Satowa, as they aspire to lead their withering club to national success. Now, Now, I acknowledge this may sound like a bog standard simple plotline, but what makes this story stand out is the beautifully written characters woven around the plot and the cathartic musical pieces the series has to offer. Even if you're not a fan of musical animes, I recommend giving a listen to the piece known as Ryusegan or Tenkyu and tell me how it makes you feel. To me, the music is a shining star in this show, and the characters' journey as they face their turbulent present and come to terms with their murky past is something alluring and beautiful to witness. To get an in-depth view on the themes of the show and overall the message that this anime tries to give you, I recommend checking out my old video on Oto Tomare. It's old and it might not be as good, but it still gets the point across. Also, an added bonus to Oto Tomare is the beautiful romance we get. The romance is so fluffy and wholesome, it'll make your heart flutter for sure, and it's just cute to witness, frankly. And speaking about romances, the next genre we'll talk about is a romance. To start off talking about the show, a little bit about me. Romance is one of my favorite genres in anime as well as manga. I've mostly seen every romance from the 1990s onwards, and to me, ReLife is a unique one out of the lot, where it not only provides a great romance, but realistic and flawed characters to go along with it. As this show starts, we're shown a 27-year-old unemployed Arata who's going nowhere with his life, and he seems to have wasted his precious years, although through the help of a special pill, he's given a chance to turn back the clock and re-attain his years of youth again. Along with that, he's given an opportunity to re-attend high school as well and essentially experience a real life. And well, he takes this pill, and through this time as a high schooler again with the memories of a mature adult, we see him traverse typical school-like situations. Through these various situations, there's plenty of comedy, drama, as well as soft and somber moments on offer, and for those moments alone, I believe that this series should be a must-watch on your list. On top of all that, I also think that ReLife is a very beautifully written show, and I'm sure anyone watching this series would be able to take something unique out of it. We also see some very dark things being portrayed, and I always welcome that in a show where self-improvement is a very center stage topic. And if you're looking for a very well-written, conclusive anime where the characters go through actual development, this show is the one for you. Well, that is it for my list of the 5 underrated animes you must watch at this moment in time. If you found a new anime to consume, please be sure to leave a like. If not, well, you can always use the comment section to, scold me or cuss me out. I don't mind. And if you want me to make another list like this, I'd be more than happy to. And lastly, be sure to subscribe as it motivates me a lot. And finally, thanks for watching and read Bakuman. Peace!